What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we finally got confirmation of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare this year, as well as a pretty lengthy campaign trailer for it, which I'm going to be talking about today. Now keep in mind this isn't going to be like a frame-by-frame, super detailed breakdown of the trailer. It's more so just sharing my thoughts and impressions, as well as picking up on a few little things and talking about those throughout this video. Now if you haven't seen the trailer yet, I will leave a link to that down in the description below. Please go and watch it like on its own first, before watching this video, because I'm not really going to have much for like audio and stuff in the background, and it's better for you to get that first initial experience so you can come up with opinions on your own. So first up, we are going into a fairly distant future. As you can see, there's big ships flying around, and it's definitely not going to be that modern or near future sort of warfare. This is definitely far future. Now one thing that I really like, and I'm not really too surprised by this, is it still looks like it has that Call of Duty sort of feel to it. So a lot of the battles here at the beginning, it looks like a typical Call of Duty mission where you've got enemy forces on one side and you have your forces and you're like rushing the front lines and trying to push from cover to cover and everything to get to your enemies and kill them and get to your objective or whatever it might be. When I first heard that this is going to be like a space or a super distant future warfare, I was really worried that this would become like a Mass Effect or a Halo or something like that, where you're battling like aliens and stuff and you're never actually on Earth, and most of the stuff takes place in space and everything. And we don't really know how much of it does take place in space. Obviously, from the second half of the trailer, you can see there's definitely some space elements, probably a fair amount of space elements. And I don't know about all that kind of stuff, but at least we still have our somewhat classic Call of Duty feel, where we're on the ground, and you're pushing from cover to cover, taking out your enemies, and working towards an objective. Now, getting into the space stuff, I think it's kind of cool that it looks like we're flying a spaceship around and we have to actually have some like dogfights in space. And that's kind of exciting. It's something new that we haven't really seen in Call of Duty before. And keep in mind, like every Call of Duty campaign that I can remember has some sort of like driving element. So it could be that this is just like one campaign mission where we're flying around trying to shoot things. I'm really interested to see how much of the campaign actually takes place in space. And I'm interested to see what kind of implications that's going to have on multiplayer. I'm really hoping that it isn't going to be much as far as space goes for multiplayer, like maybe in a spaceship, but with like normal gravity. I'm really hoping for multiplayer, it is going to be on the ground. I really feel like it is going to be, like, I don't think they're going to completely change the formula up for multiplayer, because that's really where the bread and butter of the game is in my mind. One final thing is it looks like we're not just going to be on Earth or in space. It looks like there's at least one other planet we're going to be on, as you can see from that image right there. Don't know exactly what that is or how much of other planets we're going to be seeing. I'm interested in seeing just how much we're going to be on other planets. Now, it's time to talk about something that right now, as I'm making this, everybody's going crazy over on Twitter. And that is thrust jumping or exosuits in this game. And there's definitely some form of a jetpack or thruster. It doesn't show your character using it at all, but it does show some other characters using it. If you zoom in on the side here, you can see these two guys both using some sort of a thruster pack. It looks like it's a little bit more along the lines of Black Ops 3's thruster rather than Advanced Warfare's like instant thrust in the air. So it's a little bit slower, easier to track sort of thing. But one thing I really wanted to mention here and talk about is this is absolutely not confirmation of Exos or a thruster in multiplayer. Keep in mind, there's always certain elements of campaign, there's certain mechanics, and there's certain items that are in campaign that never make it to multiplayer, and that very well could be the Exos. Now, I'm not saying 100% for sure that I know that there's going to be no Exos or no thruster in multiplayer. I just feel like a lot of people are jumping to conclusions a little bit too quickly, and they seem to think that this is 100% confirmation of thrusters in multiplayer, and it simply isn't. So finally, at the end of the trailer, we got a teaser for the Call of Duty 4 Remastered, and really there's nothing new with this. It just kind of shows off the graphics a little bit, and it does look beautiful. If you compare it to the original graphics, which at the time were quite good, now if you compare it to something like this, they look pretty terrible. So this is exciting. Nothing really new, nothing really unexpected here. It's just showing us that yes, it's absolutely going to be there, and they have definitely at least updated the graphics pretty significantly. So that's going to wrap it up for my initial impressions of Infinite Warfare and the first trailer that we got there. I'd like to hear your guys' initial impressions in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.